gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome one more time into the wonderful world that is What Penny Say. I'm glad to be with you one more time. Hope everything's going well for you. But hey, you know I don't like to waste your time, so your time is precious to you as it is to me. So, you know what I always love to tell you? Go grab your sandwich, a bag of chips, and a cool beverage of your choosing, and sit down for a few minutes and watch and listen to what Penny's saying. Like, comment, and share these proceedings at your convenience. Please, ma'am, please, sir. And hey, watch the whole entire video. Watch the whole entire proceeding, not just the story with the music, because you might miss something that was designed for your ears to hear. And as always, I do not own the copyrights to any song, movie, or television show that I may reference in these proceedings. So thank you for watching and listening, and God bless you. So, just started a new series called From Sunday to Sunday. And just let you know there are things that happen from Sunday to Sunday that we can do so that from word to word, things are still good, even though bad things happen. From word to word. So the next one I want to give you, we're going to be going to the Bible and read some verses. We're going to be talking about the man by the pool. And I'm going to read some verses. But in this installment, we're going to be talking about refresh and renew. Refresh and renew. See, a lot of people are stuck on the word revival, so I ain't gonna talk about revival. From Sunday to Sunday, you need some things in there that has the same prefix as the word revival, that almost a similar kind of meaning revival, kind of similar. Somewhat. At the last installment, I'm going to give you the definition for the word revival to try to help some people out. But right now, we're going to talk about refresh and renew. Refresh/renew. Refresh/renew. You see, no matter whether you're talking about the Bible, no matter whether you've been on your job for a long time, you need a refresher from time to time. And as far as being refreshed and renewed, as far as being renewed, let me tell you something. Every one of us have car insurance. Some people pay it in monthly installments. Some people pay it for the 6 months. Some people pay it for the whole year. But no matter how you do it, there's a period of which you gotta renew it. Don't renew it and try to drive. You get a ticket without insurance. So even with everything, you need a refresher course, and you need to be renewed. So let's go into the Bible. So we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna talk about the man at the pool by Bethesda. So John chapter 5, starting at verse 1. So it reads as follows: And after this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Verse 2. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. Verse 3. And these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. 4. For an angel went down at a certain session into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in and was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. So these people were looking to be refreshed, renewed from their infirmity, right? Verse 5. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. Wow. Verse 6. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou make me whole? Verse 7. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Verse 8. Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. Verse 9. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Here come the issues. Verse 10. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is a Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. Verse 11. He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Verse 12. Then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? Verse 13. And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Verse 14. After Jesus findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. Verse 15. The man departed, and told the Jews that it was Jesus which he made him whole. I'm going to read you verse 16, because, the Jews that, people get stuck in the law and they're stuck with what Jesus is doing. They get a little crazy. So verse 16 says, And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus, and sought to slay him because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. But I love how Jesus answered stuff. Let me give you 17. But Jesus answered them, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Bam. You gonna tell God to stop working? So, here's this man. And again, I'm talking about from Sunday to Sunday, from word to word, stuff happened to you. So check it. So this man that was by this pool, Bethesda. So this man had been dealing with this issue for 38 years. That's a lot of from Sunday to Sundays to go through something for 38 years. And some people will probably say, well, he was just lazy. He didn't want to make the effort. So the lesson here is that, y'all, things are going to happen to us. Our spiritual energy is going to get low. And sometimes you need a refresher. And you need to be renewed. So Jesus saw this man and already knew what his condition was. And what I love about the man, he didn't make an excuse. He told the truth. So he had an issue where he could not walk properly. And so he was waiting there just like everybody else to go to the pool so he could be healed of his infirmity. So he could be refreshed. So he could be renewed. But nobody would help him. Because they didn't want to get in trouble of taking up that bed on the Sabbath day. They didn't want to get in trouble. So, and that happens, y'all. And I think all of us have done this before, where we want to help somebody, but we don't want to get in trouble. All of us have done that before. Raise your hand if you've done it before. All of us have done it before. So let's not talk bad about the people that didn't help him. Let's not do that. Instead, let's glorify Jesus for bucking the system. Let's do that instead. Because so oftentimes, we're going to say, why didn't they do that? And it's funny how the people that's saying, why didn't they do that? They ain't doing it either. But they want to point the finger to get the focus off them. They should have helped that man up. Now, they're standing next to you, telling you should help the man up, and they ain't helping the man up. I'm pretty sure there's always somebody there like that, y'all. There's always that one person that's complaining that is complaining about something that they could do it too, but they're not doing it. But they want to get the focus off them. Why ain't y'all over there helping them? Why ain't you over there helping them? And then they don't say nothing. But anyway, so Jesus, he asked the man, will you be made whole? Why are you just sitting here? Now, Jesus already knew, but I love Jesus already knows the answers to the question. He knows the answer to the test already, but he wants to hear what you have to say. He wants to hear what you have to say so you can pass the test. Jesus already passed the test. He knows the answer already. So because he knows the answers to the test, he knows the answers to the questions that you're going to ask. He wants to hear you ask the question. He wants to hear you not make an excuse, but be honest with him. So check this out again. Verse 6 says, when Jesus saw him lie, and he knew that he had been nigh in a long time in that case. So Jesus already knew. So he asked him, wilt thou made whole? Now it says the impotent man. Now, we're not talking about impotent like some people think about impotent. It could be his legs. It could be anything. But anyway, so he said, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me in the pool. So Jesus was like, you know what? Since nobody won't put this man in the pool, since nobody won't stop and help him out, guess what? I'm going to help him to help himself. I'm Jesus, by the way. So Jesus and the power of Jesus and the power of him just speaking, that's why it's important for Christian folk to speak things into existence. Because Jesus is all about speaking stuff and it happens. So Jesus told him, hey, rise, take up thy bed and walk. And verse 9 says, immediately the man was made whole. So his spiritual energy had got low. His faith in man was shot. But Jesus restored his faith not just in man, but gave him a new faith in Jesus. Well, he said, wait a minute. So this man just told me to get up and I was able to walk. I'm jumping in this pool head first. So the man was refreshed. But then his faith, his energy got renewed. See, from Sunday to Sunday, y'all, sometimes we get caught up in stuff. But let me tell you something. From Sunday to Sunday, in the span of those 7 days, do you understand the things that can happen in a span of 7 days that can rock and shake you to your very core? And you would sit there talking about revival this, revival that. Forget revival. From Sunday to Sunday, you need to be refreshed. You need to be renewed. Just from Sunday to Sunday, from word to word. Because you'll hear a great word on Sunday and then something will happen. And you need to be refreshed. Have a refresher. Again, I talked about a reminder, another one, a refresher course. Like, wait a minute. Okay. I remember when Jesus delivered me out of that. That's a refresher. And then a renewal is the feeling of, wait a minute, so he did it for me then, he'll do it again. He did it for me then, he'll do it again. So then you're renewed, your faith is renewed, and you're uplifted. So this man who is dealing with whatever issue it is, now people can speculate on what the issue was. You're welcome to go do the research to find out what the issue is. To me, it don't matter what the issue is. It's just the fact that he had an issue for 38 years. And he could not walk on his own. And then nobody would help him. It's kind of like what's going on now, y'all. It's people out here who panhandle, but they're not poor. But that is their profession. They panhandle. So people will just keep giving them money all day long. And you can't tell if they're really poor or not. Because they look the part. They hold up signs. And you just got to pay attention. So people kept walking because, you know, again, it's so easy to say, why didn't somebody help him? Because let me go back a little further. Let me go back any further. So verse 3 says, in these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. So in case you don't know what that means, let me read that in the Message Bible. So in the Message Bible, that was verse 4, I believe. Let me make sure. Excuse me, my throat trying to give me problems. Excuse me, that was verse 3. So verse 3 in the King James says, in these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. So the Message Bible says, hundreds of sick people, blind, crippled, paralyzed, were in these alcoves. Hundreds of sick people, blind, crippled, paralyzed. So check that out. So there are hundreds of people. And when the water start moving, somebody going in. So, yeah, it's easy for us to sit here and say, well, why didn't somebody help him? But put yourself in that position. You know, you really have to be a special person that you got a problem, but you go help somebody else resolve their problem. It's so easy to pick on them other people. Let's not do that. Instead, Jesus said, I'm not going to send somebody to help you get in the pool, but I'm going to renew you so that you can get in the pool yourself. See, from Sunday to Sunday, we need a renewal of our faith. We need a renewal of our of glory. We need a refresher course on the things that Jesus can do. So refresher and renewed. That man need to be. He had a refresher course on who Jesus is, and then he was made whole because of his faith to listen to Jesus. See, so many people are made whole by their faith, and they have to do something. His doing was he was honest with Jesus. He told Jesus. Jesus already knew the answers to the test. So he knew the answers to the questions. So the man said the right thing. He said, nobody will help me in the pool. He said, well, guess what? I'm not going to make sure nobody help you in the pool. I'm going to help you to help yourself. I have the power. Take up your bed and walk. Take up your bed and walk. Start. The Message Bible says, get up, take your bedroll, start walking. The man was healed on the spot. But you weren't supposed to take up your bed on the Sabbath day. So you supposed to just sit there. Nah, Jesus said, this man healed me. Told me to take up my bed and walk. But then Jesus, as he is prone to do, now I done helped you. So now you made whole. So Jesus went back and found the man. This is verse 14. He said, behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. So that's why he got a, so he gave him, so Jesus gave the man a refresher course. Hey, you made whole now. Don't go back. Don't go back and mess up, or something worse is headed down the pike. So he gave the man a refresher course on why he should not sin no more. Because you went through this for 38 years, there's something worse in mind when you don't do what you're supposed to do. So this man was renewed. Think about that. His whole spirit is renewed. Wow. So from Sunday to Sunday, again, we're not thinking about revival in June or July whenever churches have their revival. We're not even thinking about that because people are having an issue with that. So we're not thinking about that. From Sunday to Sunday, man, from word to word. Yeah, you could use a refresher course. Oh, yeah, yes, you can. You can be renewed in them 7 days. Yeah. Let me tell you something about life. Life, man, life will rock you to your core. And life don't play fair, because life could use anything to rock you to your core. Death of a family member, your car break down, your wife or your husband start tripping, your kids ain't listening. Life don't play fair. Life does not play fair. And so life will help you to have a refresher course to call on Jesus. And then be renewed by the Holy Spirit. Be renewed by the Holy Spirit. Refresher course on Jesus and renewed by the Holy Spirit. See, that man got to be renewed by the Holy Spirit. Renewed, rejuvenated. Everybody needs that, y'all. From Sunday to Sunday, you need to be renewed. You need to be rejuvenated. You need to have a refresher course on what Jesus delivered you from. Just think about it. From Sunday to Sunday, from word to word. From word to word, there's reasons in there for you to have a refresher course, to draw back on what that word was saying, and then to be renewed by the Holy Spirit. Man, that's awesome. To be renewed by the Holy Spirit. That man got renewed. Where he could not walk, he was watching people. Years go by, he watched people walk to that pool. Nobody help him. And then all of a sudden, here's this man comes along, says, take up your bed and walk. And he immediately starts walking. And now he can get in the pool on his own. But you got to remember, take the refresher course on who did that for you. And then Jesus let him know, hey, don't sin no more. You think 38 years with your problem was bad? Mess with me, play around. So they let him know. And the man was renewed by the Holy Spirit. So they have it, refresh and renew. From word to word, from Sunday to Sunday. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.